I can show you how to do this haircut so you can elevate your skills to the next level, showing you step by step from beginning to end, showing you some clipper over comb, some shear work, and even the straight blade razor. I'm gonna show you how to hit them eyebrows and even the facial hair, guys. So make sure you watch to the end, not just for the transformation, but for all the tips and tricks along the way. This is a haircut mixed with a Pompadour / south side fade, okay? If you don't have a metal 2, what I want you to do is slap your 1.5 plastic clip on your clippers and follow me in the video. You're gonna go from ear to ear, shaving off everything from the sides and the top of the head. Now that we knocked off some bulk, what we want to do is pull out our trimmers of choice and create our fade line. I'm using the DLC blade on the Gold FXs by Babyliss Pro. If you don't have trimmers, make sure you just use your blending clippers lever closed. And what we want to do is bald everything underneath. We want to get ready because this is actually going to be a razor fade. So make sure it's baby smooth. Then we want to pull out those blending clippers that I was just talking about. Make sure that lever's open and set another guideline. Go about 1 inch up, giving you enough space to blend underneath. To make it easy, just make sure this guideline is parallel to the line you just set with your trimmers. This is just getting ready for the next step. Speaking about the next step, let's slap that one clip on our clippers. Make sure the lever's all the way open. This is a 1/8 clip for walls, and go a little higher. Do the same exact step that we just did, but with the one clip on the clipper, okay? Now let's slap that 1.5 clip on our blending clippers, and what we want to do is start with the lever closed. Since it's a bigger clip and we're blending into the top of the head, we can go a little higher, and what we want to do is slowly pull back that lever the higher we go. And as we start cutting on top, we want to make sure we're going against the grain. But let's not jump too far ahead. Let's finish this fade, okay? So we're gonna wanna grab your blending clippers, no clip on the clipper, okay? Make sure the lever's closed, and see this bottom line? We're gonna fade it out, okay? We're gonna take the exact same steps that I said before. As we go higher on the fade, we're gonna pull that blending lever back, making sure we're blending into that second layer that we made with a one clip, okay? You're gonna have to play with the lever back and forth to get this bottom line out. This is usually the hardest line to fade, but I got a trick for you guys, okay? Stay right there and keep watching, and I promise you guys it's gonna be worth your while. Let's continue and let me show you this little trick. So when the blending clippers are all the way open, what you want to do is glide off the head. You're not going to want to dig into the head with the clippers because you're just going to make another shadow, and you're going to have to blend that out. So to make it easier on yourself, just go ahead and blend off the sides of the head, almost if it was a wall. And we doing this with the wall clippers. Let's go. This tip is going to make the next step of your haircut so much easier, okay? As you blend this bottom line away, we're gonna go ahead and progress into the next step, which is slapping that 1/16 clip on our clippers, all right? You wanna make sure this lever is closed and attack that shadow. Notice I didn't say line because there's no lines. There's just barely shadows in there, and we wanna go ahead and blend these away to make sure it's powder smooth. Alrighty, let's go ahead and pull that lever back on the 1/16 clipper. I'm sure you guys are noticing a pattern in these blending steps. All we are is changing the location of where we're blending in the clip that's on the clippers. We're repeating the same steps, and we're just going to go ahead and continue and do the same thing. The higher you go on the back of the head, you want to go against the grain. Make sure you're going against the pattern which way the hair grows. Let's keep it pushing into some clipper over comb work. First of all, I want you guys to grab your blending clippers and make sure that lever on the side of the clipper is all the way open. What this does is give you more room for air, okay? I notice when you have the lever all the way close, the blade is going to be closer to the comb, and if you make a mistake with the comb, what this is going to cut more hair off. So having that lever open is an insurance policy for all new beginner barbers, okay? Grab your comb in between your index finger and your thumb, and what you want to do is go ahead and use the same motion that I'm using in the video. You can play with the comb at first, but you do want to get used to holding it in between your index finger and your thumb. This is by far the best way to hold your comb. This is going to give you an advantage when it comes to attacking certain angles, so make sure you become familiar with your comb, because learning how to do clipper over comb and applying it to your haircut can give you so much benefits. For example, I'm using it right now to level the haircut haircut out to see if it's flat enough on top. I also use the clipper over comb method to reduce the amount of steps I have to take to complete the haircut. For example, the clip method, you would have to jump from clip to clip. For example, from the 1 clip to the 2 clip to the 3 clip and so forth and so on, when you can just learn and master how to do this technique. And I promise you guys, you can apply this to not just this haircut, but any haircut that comes your way. So the reason we want to wet the hair on top is so we can see what the hair looks like when it's styled. You're going to do the same thing that we did when the hair was dry, but you're going to go ahead and shape it up a little bit more. And every person have a different shaped head, so you're going to want to shape the haircut to whatever the client's head shape is, or to whatever the way they request it. Let's keep it pushing and pull out our trimmers of choice and knock off some of this facial hair. Let's shape it up, okay? When you're hitting the facial hair, you want to make sure you brush it before you actually start edging, because it gives it a crispier line. We're going to go ahead and dibble and dabble around the whole side of his head, edging up everything on the right side of his face first, from his eyebrows to the goatee. On the bottom of the goatee, we're just going to do a straight line, which leads us directly to the other side of his facial hair. When edging the mustache up, you want to actually use your trimmers in the same shape as their lips. This will enhance their natural facial features and make you stand out from the barber standing next to you, okay? Another thing we want to pay attention to is the way the hair grows. Remember I told you guys earlier in the video, when you edge against the grain of the hair, you get a better line. Well, watch closely when I hit the eyebrows. You see how sharp and crispy of a line this gets? Well, you can apply this same technique on the hairline, eyebrows, mustache, and even the goatee. But let's go ahead and progress and spray the hair down with some type of spritz. If you have hairspray, that works just fine. This is just going to make the hair a little bit more firm on top, so you can see the shape a little bit better as you're combing through it with your clipper over comb. The reason we want to do this is pretty much to double check our work, make sure everything is blended, and see how the haircut is going to actually look when it's done, finished, and styled. Now that we're finished with the clipper over comb segment, let's go ahead and do some edging. If you have one of these sticky thingamajiggies, go ahead and slap it in your client's head, pull out some of this trim and edge spray, spray down the hairline, and what you want to do is comb the hair down until it dries. What this is doing is stiffening up the hair around the hairline, so when you decide to edge up, the hair doesn't shift from left to right. If you don't have any of this trim and edge spray, just use hairspray, alrighty? But let's hop into the first step when it comes to edging up. As you start the edge up, you always want to start in the center and work your way left. Work your way to the left side and try to finish everything on this one side before you switch to the other side. And then you're going to want to do the exact same thing on the other side. So work from left and then go from the center working to right. This is the most efficient way to do an edge up. Let's hop into some straight blade razor work. This is so critical and crucial when it comes to your barbering skills and your barbering toolbox. Doing the razor can enhance your haircut, your lines, your edge ups, your eyebrows, mustache, and more. Let me show you instead of talking about it, okay? What you want to do is trace everything you did with your trimmers, and you want to outline that with the razor. If you're a beginning barber, don't try to dry shave your client. You can irritate the skin. So what you want to do is put some type of shaving solution. I prefer no shaving cream because you can't see where the razor blade is actually going. I use soapy water if you don't have any shaving gel, but just make sure you're using antibacterial soap if you're going to use soapy solution water for your shaving gel, okay? Whenever you're using the straight blade razor, you want to use it at a 45-degree angle, and you always want to make sure the opposite hand that is holding the razor is actually stretching the skin. You can see my thumb is right above the razor at all times, stretching the skin. And if you're in an awkward spot, you can even ask your client to give you certain arches, and what that will do is naturally stretch the client's skin without you having to tug on the skin itself. What I'm doing right now is just reverse shaving the hairline so the edge up comes out that much crispier. Let's hop into some shear work, all right? You want to wet the hair down and grab a comb with some shears in opposite hands, and you want to measure the hair to whatever shape the client's head is. By doing this, you're enhancing your client's natural facial structure. So what you want to do is grab your comb, swipe it through the hair, pull it up, find a range of how short you want to go, and repeat that across the entire top of the head. This process and motion and movement can be a little difficult to get used to, but I promise if you follow the steps I'm giving you, you're going to get this down in no time. Mistakes happen, and the only way we can learn is through failure. Now look at this. You're going to have nicks and cuts. This is styptic powder. You just want to apply a little bit of this to your fingertip and rub it into the cut itself. All this is pretty much doing is making sure you're sealing the cut and keeping it from getting infected, staying sanitized. All right, let's pull out our coil shaver and finish this haircut up with a nice clean shave on the side of the head. Sometimes when you're finished doing this, you'll notice there'll be a slight razor shadow. It can be hard at times to see, but if you look closely, you can see it right here. What you want to do is pull out that straight blade razor, and I've actually learned this trick from my first mentor. He was actually the owner of the Barber College. Shout out to Al Marino. And what you want to do is lightly shave this little razor line out of existence. What you want to do is shave it with the grain. Don't accidentally go against the grain because you'll be cutting into the hair, which would actually make another line. This is definitely an old school way of getting rid of a razor line when it comes to a razor fade. With all that being said, I want to thank you guys for watching. Hit me with a thumbs up if you like what you see. Also, anyone looking to take their haircutting skills to new heights, subscribe to my channel. I got a playlist called Swift Tips where I teach people how to cut hair. It's your boy DK the Barber, and I gotta go.